Hello, everybody. First of all, good afternoon. Today's Tuesday. Today is the 16th. Exciting day. As you can see, I have an amazing guest today. This is my medical student, Abbey Goodyear, Dr. Goodyear, second-year medical student from Florida State University. If you did not know, if you should know, which shame on you if you didn't know, that's my alma mater. I am class of 2007. The degree on that far right over there says Florida State. I ended up getting 2 degrees from there. My exercise science, as well as my, what else did I get over there? Sociology. My wife will kill me because we both got sociology degrees together. Very exciting day today. Shonda, thank you for joining. Dr. Bush, thank you. Dr. Tamika, sorry. Thank you for joining. Special day. Like I said, we're not even teaching anything today. Today is what I would call a celebration. And what are we celebrating today? Today we're celebrating the edition of this book on Amazon. It is here. It is here to stay. After, I guess, in the next hours or so, I will be officially what we like to call a bestseller. So let me introduce myself for those who may be coming up. Hey, Amanda, thank you for joining. First, let me do some housekeeping. I'm going to share it to my personal page. We always have to do that because, we still got stragglers who only follow my business, but not. We have stragglers who are on my personal page, friends who still haven't followed my business page. We're not going to talk about them today. So let me just go ahead and share it to them, and then we'll kind of get these things started. Abby, if you have anything you want to kind of say to Facebook world, be my guest. This is your show just as much as this is my show today. Oh, and Amanda says hello. She says hello back. Man, if you were to come to see me, she's actually my student this month. She is amazing, smart, ask amazing questions, great physical exams. I'm thinking she wants to be radiology, right? Possibly radiologist, so she's gonna be an amazing radiologist. I'm excited about that. I'm just glad to have some type of say in her journey to be this ridiculously smart radiologist. So I'm just happy about that.
Well, I'm really blessed to be able to study and work under you. It's
yes,
an amazing experience so far.
Yes,
really wonderful cases. And
you hear that?
So patient with my questions.
I love it.
Great teacher.
I love it. I didn't have to pay her. I didn't even have to pay her to say all that. So just kind of let you know how great this experience has been this month. She's only with us for about 3 weeks. Normally I get my Nova students for a full month. I get my Florida State students because I do teach both for about 3 weeks. So very excited times. Again, introduce myself again. My name is Dr. Barry Pierre, your favorite board certified internist. Soon to be best-selling author, founder at drpierresblog.com, author, speaker. We're going to be soon to be a podcaster. That's in the works. We're going to talk about that more on Thursday. Dr. Shanika, thank you for joining. Dr. Shanika, this is my special guest this month. This is Dr. Goodyear, second-year medical student from Florida State. Exciting times. Yeah, radiology. Yeah, radiology is big. Radiology is big, and we'll caveat, radiologists in the medical student world, we consider 4 specialties to be like the brainiac specialties, right? We call them the Rhodes Scholars. She's going to be a Rhodes Scholar. Radiology, orthopedics, anesthesia, and dermatology, right? Those are our Rhodes Scholars. We know those guys are guys and gals, are geniuses. So again, this is a genius that's, sits in front of us today. I'm just glad to be able to teach her whatever little knowledge I may know in the outpatient center world from that standpoint here. But today, like I said, today's special day. If you not had a chance, the link is in the bio. I'll even put the link in the comment section as well. The making of a medical mogul. We're going to comment that right there. The making of a medical mogul. Nick, thank you for joining. What is this book about? Why is this book important to, me per se? Those who've been following me since about October, last October, November, knows I've been kind of going through this, business change, mental transformation, and, taking what I know, especially in the book realm, as far as medicine is concerned, and being able to take that to the next level, right? Because I felt kind of constricted with everything that I was doing, in the outpatient world. I didn't think I was doing enough, and I was very fortunate enough to meet this guy right here, Dr. Dre Birch, America's favorite OBGYN. The guy's amazing. He's been my coach, and he's kind of taken what I knew or didn't know and taking it to the next level. And it's the reason why, I do these Facebook Lives. Again, this is Lunch and Learn. This is still Lunch and Learn. We're learning about the making of the Medical Mogul. Get this book right now. It's only $2.99. Get this for the next 20 minutes. 20 minutes for $2.99. The reason why I want you to do that is so we can be bestsellers. So we got to sell a whole bunch in a short amount of time. And it works the same way with people who want to be on like New York, bestsellers list and all of those stuff. You have to sell a certain number of books in a certain amount of time. Thankfully for us, we don't got to sell like 10,000 books. Because I would have had to make like a lot of phone calls, to get those 10,000 books from that standpoint. But we're selling a lot of books in this last hour. We're going to get, this bestseller list. We're going to be happy. I'm amazing. And, you guys are amazing, especially for the support. I want to give a shout out, first of all, to Dr. Adam Ramsey, who's already purchased the book, to St. Pierre. Let me see. Lars Jetter already purchased the book as well. You guys have been amazing. Now, I love it, love it, love it. Absolutely thankful for all the support you guys have been showing me throughout all of this. And I have a chapter. My chapter. This book is a part of me and my 20 moguls. Yeah, because our class is about 20, 21 deep. We all have a chapter in here. I'm lucky chapter 13. The blogger doctor. You're gonna learn a little bit about what motivated me to even get to this position where I can call myself Dr. Barry Pierre. You're gonna learn about who was a big motivating factor for me. You're gonna learn about like who was a childhood motivator for me as well. And I know I'm old, right? Like I'm old. I tell Dr. Goodyear all the time I'm old, right? Because when I talk about like Doogie Howser, right? Like some people may not have no clue like who Doogie Howser is, right? And I grew up on the guy. So that's a whole, it's like I said, that's how I know I'm getting old, right? Because I remember I was talking to like high school students. And I mentioned Doogie Howser and the whole room was silent. The whole room had no clue who Doogie Howser was. And that's when I knew I was old. And that's when I accepted that I'm old. And that's why I say a lot of things like back in my day. So I've accepted the mantle. I'm old. I'm old in this physician world, especially, and you'll read about that in my chapter, like I said. But we got about 20 other amazing individuals. I think it's about. Let me not tell a lie. Let me tell you how many chapters we got in here. Let me see. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see. We got 21. 21 chapters. Like again, I'm lucky chapter 13. You're gonna read about 21 other amazing moguls in their right. Pharmacists, dentists, physicians, doing things and like that, I couldn't even imagine before we kind of started this process, kind of moving forward. Let me see. Okay. So I will definitely let you know when we get the audio version, Amanda. Because I had a few patients ask me, and customers, whatever, supporters ask me about, when the audio version comes out. The hard copy version, we're working on getting for you as well. I think there may be a link at Amazon, but like I'll have personal hard copies in the future. You can always message me to let me know. But we'll definitely make sure you get an audio book version as well. That's definitely going to be something I put that effort to get that in there for you, so we can make sure everyone who wants access to it can get it from that standpoint there. But like I said, very excited times as far as the book and everything else is concerned. For those who may already know, like I do have. I am going to be transitioning from this office here into Wellington, where I'll be teaching residents. And Thursday, it's a possibility I may do my Facebook Live from Wellington. I don't know yet. Let's cross our fingers there. Just kind of see where that kind of goes. But very exciting times. And like I said, I'm just excited to be able to kind of share a part of my story with you guys. Again, this is just a chapter. I have plenty like books in my head that I need to like actually come out. But we felt that this was kind of like going to be the first step to kind of move forward. And like I said, for all of those who will purchase, have purchased, thank you guys so much. Like I said, I do not take your support for granted. Like I said, I know at 12:30 Tuesdays and Thursdays, you could easily be watching somebody else. I know that you could easily be reading someone else's blog. but you still come and support, everything I do as well as everything my moguls do as well. And for that, very appreciated. And like I said, when I have, like geniuses like Dr. Goodyear in front of us like that, it just helps to motivate me to know that at least I'm doing something right? At least we're going in the right direction as far as that grand scheme of things, right? Abby, do you have anything you want to tell, tell our amazing audience before we get out of here? Like I said, thank you for everything, guys. Dr. Goodyear, do you have anything you want to tell these amazing people before you become too big to even talk to us? Because you'll be like an amazing, right? Like I said, when I see these things in my students, right, and I know she's gonna be amazing. I know, or even if she doesn't do radiology, she's gonna be amazing at whatever she. Because like I said, when I tell you, I get students here every month, right, and very quickly, I start ranking them, even though the attendings will act like they don't. Very quickly, I start ranking them, and she's already at the top, right? And this is a set, and I get third-year students from Nova, right? And she's only a second year, right? So if she's doing the stuff that she's doing now as a second year, I can only imagine when she becomes a third year. I can only imagine when she becomes a resident and all this other stuff here. Very excited to be able to say, like, oh, yeah, I taught that girl right here. I had a little part of that, so I can kind of hitch on to her fame when it's all said and done.
Well, Dr. Pierre is being very generous, and I am excited that I get to learn so much under you, and you've been really interesting to learn from because you have a unique approach to patients where you have this ability to tease information out of them. They feel comfortable with you, and they kind of just share their story with you, and they're not afraid to. And you're also really good at listening to patients and figuring out exactly what it is that they need and using your medical expertise to attune to that. Can you give a little bit of a sneak peek on your chapter, how, I guess, you came to that point and what made you the person that you are today?
Perfect. I think a great example, right? And first of all, like I said, I just surprised her and said, we're going to go live, right? She had no preparation, and look how calm she is, right? Like, for those who've been following me since, like, Lunch and Learn episode 1, I was stuttering. I was looking every which way. And that's what I tell you. When I say when a person's amazing, like this, Rose, thank you for joining. When I tell you that this person's going to be amazing, this person's amazing, right? This is, like, all off, like, their cuff, right? Genius, right? So let's talk about like what made me, especially like my chapter, right? My chapter, you're going to see the transition even going from high school. First of all, thank you for joining. Because I knew I wanted to be a physician, right? I knew I wanted to be a doctor. I had no clue what type of doctor, but I knew I wanted to be a doctor since I was like 8, 9 years old, right? So that was early, right? Like, and for those who, especially my childhood friends who followed me, y'all know, like, y'all been calling me Dr. Barry for like forever, right? Like, I didn't realize how much pressure y'all was putting on me. That's okay. Much appreciated. But y'all was putting pressure on me to call me Dr. Barry since I was in like elementary, middle school, and high school. And I used to look up, and for especially for my Haitian community in Lake Worth, you already know this person's name, like Dr. Gaston, right? Dr. Gaston was the physician for all of the Haitians in our community, right? Like, if you were Haitian, everybody went to Dr. Gaston. I think he was family medicine. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure. Pierre Gaston. I'm not entirely sure if he was family medicine or internal medicine. Probably family because he saw kids too. But he saw everybody. And I just love the fact that, we all had one person to go to take care of us. We all had one person who we could look up to. And again, I didn't know him. He was just like this mystical figure. Like, oh my God, we're going to Dr. Gaston again. And then when I would talk to my friends would say, oh yeah, we see Dr. Gaston too. So I felt like, again, everybody in the community went to go see Dr. Gaston. So when I made my mind, I said, I want to be a physician. Like, that was really my goal, right? My goal was to, hey Shanika, Shaquita, thank you for joining. Sorry about that. That was my goal, right? To be like Dr. Gaston, to be the physician that not only, again, I don't see kids, but like I see adults, right? And sometimes I see their kids, especially if they're like 16, and I wanted to make sure that I was the one that all of your family members wanted to go to when it was all said and done, right? And right now we're taking a little detour, right? Because again, I was doing outpatient medicine. Like I am doing outpatient medicine, but I'm going to be going into inpatient medicine. But it's just a temporary road stop, right? Like I know eventually I'll end up back to having my own clinic, my own office, because I just love it, right? Like even as we make this transition, as we leave the outpatient practice, like, it's definitely saddens me because I'm not going to see, all of my, obviously we're not for HIPAA reasons, we're not going to name the names, but I'm going to miss a lot of my patients. Like, Dr. Abbey would tell you, I'm giving a lot of hugs out right now, right? Like, I'm going to the exam and then I'm giving them a hug afterwards because I know I'm not going to see them. When I say, I'm going to see you in, your next appointment is in 3 months, I know that's not going to be with me. So there's definitely something that, we're definitely going to miss. But like it's definitely a new adventure. Like I said, Dr. Dre, my coach, he talked about because he talked about perfection being almost like paralysis, right? Like not everything is going to be perfect, and it was just a situation where I kind of had to make the leap, right? Because if I didn't make the leap, who else was going to make the leap? And it was going to be a situation where I probably would have regretted it for years. Like, oh my God, I had the chance to be a program director and I missed it. So so that's the reason why we're kind of making the transition. But that's what you're gonna see, right? You're gonna get that transition of me, loving Doogie Howser. Even I know y'all don't even know who Doogie Howser is. A lot of y'all are probably gonna have to Google Doogie Howser after this live stream is over. Going to Doogie Howser, going to Dr. Gaston, loving the fact that this was like the guy, like this was the man when it came to taking care of families in our community. And then you're gonna read about some of my bumps, right? You're gonna read about, because we all have bumps, right? I think that's one of the most underrated aspects of being a physician and being a professional in general, right? There's not a professional who you see on TV, who you see in like these big positions that didn't have bumps on the way as they moved up. And you're gonna read about a couple of my bumps, and I've actually talked about some of it on like old Facebook Lives. I forget which number, but it's one of my, check the one that says like failures or something like that. So you'll read, and you'll read about this one, especially in this book right here, $2.99 Amazon Kindle version. If you don't have a Kindle, you can download the app, because I have the app on my phone, my iPad. I have the app on my Mac as well, so I can pretty much read it wherever. Again, only $2.99. Bestseller, future bestseller. Very excited about that. So you're going to read about all of that. You're going to read about the ups, you're going to read about the downs, and then it's going to kind of stop right when I finish residency. So you'll get to about that point, right? And like I said, this is just a sliver of a book that I know I have to kind of get to, y'all. But again, I feel like I'm still kind of writing my book, like as we go, as these years go on. So eventually, well, let me see. Yes, you see, Amanda. See, I love it. Amanda knows about Doogie Howser. I love it. Yes, I remember Vinny. Very well. Doogie Howser was like this. For those who don't know, Doogie Howser was like this childhood genius, like amazing brainiac who became a physician, right? And Amanda's definitely putting it out. I love it. So again, very excited. Like I said, I don't want to keep you guys all day. Like I said, we got about 7 more minutes. But again, not to say if you catch this later, especially let me shout out, I forgot to do it. Let me shout out my replay viewers who may be at work right now, who may not have a chance to catch this live. Even if you see this 10 hours later, the next day, next week, go ahead and buy the book as well. Much appreciated for all your support from that standpoint there. But like I said, very exciting times. Like I said, the making of a medical mogul. This is going to be my second ebook out. My first one is the Affirmation 2016. I kind of talks about all this stuff I'm kind of doing this year. And then on Thursday, we're going to talk about the podcasting, because that's one of the chapters in that ebook as well. Like I said, very exciting times in the world of Dr. Berry. Like I said, I want everyone to kind of thank Dr. Abbey Goodyear, future amazing radiologist, or whatever she's going to do. It's going to be amazing. The student is like a genius. I'm just very excited to like even be able to like come to work and just kind of sit back and just see what type of knowledge I can try to pull out. And especially for my attendings know, right, medical students, right, are like amazing, right, because like they really make like we think we know a lot about differentials, and then they say something, you're like, oh my God, I didn't even, like something you haven't probably read since like boards and warts, like those first aid step 1, like she's pulling that out, and I love it because again, I think as a physician, if you're not learning, something's a problem, right? I don't care what specialty you're in. I don't care how long you're doing it. Every single day should be a learning opportunity. Amanda should tell you, and all my patients will tell you, like, I learn from my patients just as much as I try to give out from a learning aspect. So guys, again, thanks for everything. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the shares. Thanks for the book purchase. You guys, even if you can't purchase the book, share it on your page, and then someone on your page can purchase the book for you. You guys have a great, blessed day. I will see y'all on Thursday. Remember, tomorrow, again, back to business. Tomorrow we're talking about osteoarthritis on the blog. So we'll have a nice little infographic for y'all on the blog about osteoarthritis. If you didn't catch last week's one, thank you. If you didn't catch last week's we talked about the thyroid. We talked about like 10 reasons, 10 ways if the thyroid isn't working very well, and 10 reasons or symptoms if the thyroid is working a little bit too well for us, right? So check that out if you didn't have a chance. And tomorrow we're going to talk about osteoarthritis, something that I see pretty much every single day. Hey, Alpha, thank you for joining. Alpha, I'm actually just about to leave, but today we talked about the Making of the Medical Mogul book launch. I was raving about my genius medical student here from Florida State University. And if you don't know, I'm from Florida State University. Amazing medical student. We had yes. And now that it's done right, we'll say, I went to Florida State right during the down times, right? I went to Florida State during Chris Rick's era, where we were terrible in football, where UM beat us like 5 times in a row, where UF beat us like 5 or 6 times in a row. I went during very sad times at Florida State. Now, I literally cannot remember the last time UM beat us, right? And I really can't even remember the last time Florida State beat us. I mean, UF beat us, right? So it's an amazing time to be a Florida State Seminole. If you're a high school student and you're trying to decide whether you want to go to FSU, UF, or UM, make the right decision. Go to FSU. You could probably meet geniuses like Dr. Goodyear right here and be graced by the presence like I have been this past couple weeks, right? So you guys have a great, blessed day. I will see y'all again tomorrow on the blog. We'll see you Thursday on Lunch and Learn. We're going to talk about this book update. We're going to talk about the podcast, and we may be doing it at my office in Wellington. I don't know. Very excited. So you guys have a great, blessed day. I will see y'all later. Bye.